Hi everybody, welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. I have a special guest here today. This is my oldest son, Miles.
Hi.
Miles, I don't think has been in like any of my formal kind of videos before, except he's made some great appearances on Nolte family road trips.
If you guys would stop clicking away from these videos, you could afford a nicer water bottle.
Yeah, this is it for us. This is only.
If you guys would just watch till the end.
That's all we own.
That's why you're making this video right now.
That water's got to last you the rest of the day.
My video today is called Can You Hear What Comes Next? And my goal with it is that it's an interactive video so that you who are watching will have a chance to actually participate. So Miles is kind of playing the part of anybody else who's watching. The reason I asked Miles to help me, I'm so glad that he said yes, is because Miles has one of the best ears of anybody that I know. He kind of got his mom's ears just in cosmetics. Sorry about that. But he hears great. If Miles ever hears a melody, he pretty much always remembers it way better than I do. Like, I ask him to help me all the time with lots of things. EQing and his opinion about my videos. He's just like super helpful guy. But he's into music. What do you like to do with music?
I like to produce hip-hop most of the time. I don't know, just for fun.
Yeah, and he's getting pretty darn good at it. But Miles does. I mean, Miles, you listen to a ton of music.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Big Beatles fan.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin fan. Like all the great rock bands, but also a lot of hip-hop music. Not so much jazz.
Yeah, not often, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe just what you've taken in from what plays around the house or something.
Yeah, mostly. Probably.
So today we're going to take a song that I don't even think you know. It's called All the Things You Are. And it's like a really popular jazz standard.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is talk about how to play, how to solo in a meaningful kind of way that includes your audience. A lot of times when people take a jazz solo, the audience is clueless and they just think they're making up random notes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it sounds like that. So I like to take a solo that involves the audience, that lets them kind of predict what I might do next, or at least give them an idea of what could come next. And it takes some practice to be able to make lines like that. Today, I'm going to give you some lines, and I'd like you to tell me what you think should come next, like if you were the casual observer in the audience. Mm-hmm. So let me just play this little chord progression for you a little bit. And I have to apologize, not to you, but to you, that the piano is a little out of tune. That's how the beginning of it sounds, the chords anyway. So I'm going to give myself 2 bars, and then you 2 bars, and then me 2 bars, and then you 2 bars. And I think it'll be easier than you think it'll be. We haven't talked about it at all. He's just jumped in here. So thanks. Okay, here we go. Here's my first one. It's gonna go like this. Da da do 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 da. Can you hear what maybe comes next? Yeah, I know you could do it. Yeah, good. Da da do 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 da. And then here, it comes to a resolution, so you can make up anything you want. You're a jazzer at heart. No, that was really good. He did 5-6-5. That's really nice. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's try it. Let's try another one. Da 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 da. Good low F. Da 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 da. That's so hip, Miles. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was perfect. Okay, here's another one. Maybe with a more difficult rhythm. Da 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 do 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 da da. Really good. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's interesting. Almost every time you end up on that same note, and it does sound really good. Can you hear another one? Let me see. Da, 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 da. What's another option? You heard it? Yes, that's really good. You heard the 9. That's awesome. It's not the most obvious, but it sounds really good. Let's see. Da, 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 da. The 9
you
again.
Want me to find another one?
Another one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, were you trying to be more creative? Or did it just...
That's just what I was thinking.
It didn't occur to you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, let's try the rest of the song. So it can work like that in the song. Actually, let me give you, the viewer, one, and then we'll go on to the rest of the song, because you can keep it going. But here over the first 2 bars, my turn, right? Let's see. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And there's no right answer on this last resolution part. It's kind of your time to just make up something, anything you want. Anything. Okay, Miles, let's do another one, but we'll keep going. And I think it'll work. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Da 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 ba do. Nice. I like it. Da 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 da. Beautiful. Da 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 da. Good. Can you? I forgot to give you a rule. The rule over these parts where you sing after me and you don't get to make up what you want is that you try to take my contour. So you were doing it at the beginning, but I think you're like getting comfortable and free now.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to think of something new too.
No, that's good. But the cool thing is that you've like never taken a jazz solo before, maybe. Have you?
Maybe like one time in 8th grade on the bass when I was in the jazz band for like a week.
But maybe we've done like some family singing where you've made up melodies. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I make up melodies all the time, just making music.
You're really good at that. You have a really good ear for melody. I think everybody can tell that. So yeah, a lot of times when people are taking a jazz solo, what they want to do is make something new all the time. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what alienates the audience sometimes. Not all the time. Mm-hmm. I like to, set like the structure, like you do something and then you do something that either answers that or copies it in a way, but changes it slightly, and then maybe you add to that a tiny bit, and then that way the audience is going like if I do one of these kind of lines, ba bo do 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 do, ba do do da do do, they'll be like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna do it again. And then ba do do da do, and they're like, oh, they did it again. Da bo do de da, and they're like, oh, they changed it a little bit, but it includes them. So that's what we're trying to do. When I make a contour, a shape with my line, my idea is that, or my goal for this is that you copy the contour. Okay, back to the beginning. Da 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 da. You know what? Sing along with me. The trouble is that we're in 2 different octaves.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to...
Yeah. Okay, so if I start on this note, no, just kind of hum it with me, but down here. Yeah. Da 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 da. Perfect.
I can't tell the next chord that's coming.
Because you don't know the progression well enough?
Yeah, I don't know it super
well. You
nailed
it though. That was it.
Oh.
That was it. Let's try
just
again.
Just a little out of tune.
Yeah, that's all. Just a little unsure. Da. So with me again. Da ba da 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 da. Good. Da 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 keep going. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Does it again. Good. Yeah, that was awesome. We'll just go that far for now. I mean, you could keep going if you want, but I think you get the idea. So now I'm going to relieve my son because he's a good sport. But I'll play some for you guys and see what you come up with. And I'll never know what you come up with, but I just assume that it's pretty darn good. Miles, thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
You're the best. You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so your turn. And I've gone back and forth between swinging and straight. I think sometimes I naturally switched to straight da do da do da do do da something just to make it easier on Miles because he's not so used to swinging, even though his name is Miles. Okay, so here comes yours, and let's go ahead and keep it straight. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 do do do. And again. Little hint. No right answer there. Good. This time, I'm going to give you what the answer should have been, and we're going to get a little more chromatic, a little more jazz. Let's see. I think 2 possible right answers. That was mine. Yours could have been. So starting on the A flat, or you could have started on the C. So here's the other way. Here's the C. Either one would have been fine. The key is to pick a strong tone in the chord. Sometimes we call them guide tones. And those strong chords are typically 1, 3, 5, or 7. More typically 1, 3, or 5. And if we're on a minor chord, it's a flat 3. And if we're on a major chord, it's a regular major 3. If we're on a dominant chord, it's also a major 3. So what I did was start on the root. Da, do, de, do, da, 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 and then went to the third of the next chord, G flat, da, do, de, do, da. And then you have a choice. I think probably the most probable choice is that you would just come up a whole step from that third of E flat minor to the A flat, which is the root of A flat 7. Da, do, de, do, da. That's a little trickier. It could be. That's a little more classical. If you take that chromatic note, it rubs, right? It rubs up against the G flat, but it's still cool because it's kind of bebop, right? But you could also play that G flat. Da, 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 da. And then, bo, da, 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 da. And let's go on. And I'll keep the same idea, but I'll alter it slightly. And a skip is often a nice way to alter something slightly. Da 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 do, dee, da, da. And then you can keep this note, this 7. It was the 3 of C7, the E, but now it'll be the 7 of F major. Da 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 da. Or if you don't want to be so chromatic, you'd like to be more classical. Either way is fine. Next, something completely different. And let's take an even more colorful note, because you don't always have to do 1, flat 3, 5, or flat 7 on a minor chord. The color notes are typically the 9 and the 11 when we're talking about a minor chord. So let's try that 11. That's a B flat. Sounds good. Not so good in my airy upper voice like that, but we don't care, right? And then here's your chord. Maybe this. That would be if you started on the third of E flat on the G. But mine was here, right? You could even go higher than that. How would you do it if you went higher? I don't know what you picked. Let me try one though. That one's pretty good. It takes the 13 of the E flat 7 chord, the dominant chord. That's another cool color tone that we can put on a dominant chord that is not the 1, 3, 5, or 7. So color tones on a dominant chord that is not altered, like one that just says E flat 7, or maybe E flat 9 or E flat 13, can have the 9 or the 13. Those are great color tones. Now, if your dominant chord is altered in any way, and we can make it altered, we can if we want to, we can give it a flat 9. Let's try that. Then your cool color tone would be a flat 9. Da, 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 da. You can hit it there, da, if you want. I'm getting a little bit off track, but I do want you to know what your possibilities are. So cool other notes, color tones that you can start with or land on over major chords and dominant chords are the 9 and 13. You get very colorful if you make it anything other than that. So major chords sometimes, like if we land on this A flat major chord and you wanted to go just, hog wild, you could play the sharp 11. It's not really hog wild, is it? It's beautiful. I suggest that if you're starting out with this kind of thing, that on beats 1 and beats 3, those are typically the resolution beats when a chord becomes new, that you land on a 1 or 3 or 5 or 7. Just a pretty good rule for improvising. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're on the D flat major bar. Well, let's start on a sharp 11 just for kicks. I don't know if you can hear the sharp 11 over this chord. Let's do it in context, back to D flat. Here's our first note. I missed it that time because I was thinking about something else, actually. I'll just be honest with you. What I was thinking about is that I know I'm not singing in my most beautiful voice right now, and I don't give one crap about that. When I teach a lesson to somebody and I'm having them sing, like when Miles was singing, I never thought for 1 second, what does his voice sound like? Does his voice sound good? And I don't think that about myself either, except that I'm a little bit, self-conscious because I'm on YouTube in front of a lot of people. But when you're teaching or showing, don't worry about how good you sound. Just worry about, I think I'll make a video about this at some point, but just worry about showing the person in the most humble way you can the idea or concept that you're teaching. And I'm not trying to come up with super complicated ideas either. I'm not trying to show off for you guys or for whatever student I might have here with me. All I'm trying to do is teach the concept. And to do it in a very simple, childlike voice is a good way to not seem like you think you're better, right? Like if I was on this sharp 11 and I was trying to sound all sexy or something, there's no reason. So I don't even care. If you guys are singing along and you think your voices are terrible, I don't give one crap. You can play your instrument too. You don't have to be singing. You can be plunking notes as you do this. I know everybody's not comfortable singing, but and here it comes, your sharp 11. Can you hear it? There it is. Now I'm going to sing a line on the next 2/5, and let's see if when I go back to the C major chord, you can hear that sharp 11. It's really colorful. It's not the normal thing to do. The normal thing to do would probably be you hear it? Something like that, or any of those would be just fine. I want to be really honest with you guys and give you a moment to actually feel like you're here with me. I hope that I did, and that you were able to come up with some good ideas of your own. I don't want to make the video exhaustingly long, but thank you so much for watching. And please practice these things so that you can include the audience in your soloing. I think it's invaluable. It's so important that people have an idea of where you've been and where you're going, and maybe even they can predict a little bit sometimes. All right, thanks for watching Aimee Nolte Music. Make sure and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time.